Well, I can see everything. What I really want to know is if the Insta360 One X2 is that much better than the Insta360 One X original. And we're gonna find out in this video right after this. Now, before we deep dive into this video, let me remind you, this is part 2 of a giveaway series that I am giving you, or one of you, my Insta360 One X. This is my very own Insta360 One X, and I've decided to up the game, and I'm including a selfie pole that will become invisible when you go record this. It's actually going to be pretty easy to win. You will need to watch both videos and watch for hashtags like this. I will have them scattered throughout the background in the studio scenes. There won't be any when you see me on the mountain. At the end of each video, I will tell you how many hashtags there are. You would put in the comments that. So keep your eyes open through this entire video, because that is the only way I will even consider you as a winner. Now, I only have one camera and one pole to give away, so I will personally be choosing one lucky person who got the hashtags right in both videos, and come January, I will do a live broadcast that you need to try to join me. It will be on a Monday evening. That's it. Nothing else. That simple. Now let me go hide this and let's get on with the video. Now, if you missed it, I did a very extensive video about the Insta360 One X2, going through the settings, how to use it, what mind frame you need to be able to think about how to take different shots than you would normally get with a regular action type camera. In this video, we're actually just going to be talking about a comparison from the original Insta360 One X and the Insta360 One X2. When they first came out with the One X2, I personally saw a lot of videos and I was thinking to myself, the video looks very similar. Is it really worth the upgrade? But now that I have both, I can really tell you after using them both extensively, and if this one's worth an upgrade from this one, or if you don't have this, is this one worth getting? Now, if you are new here, my name is Sean Oz. This is the World of Oz, and on this channel, I share with you my lifestyle here in the Rocky Mountains, where I use action cameras, drones, and 360 cameras to capture my surroundings and do a lot of fun stuff. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please consider smashing that subscribe button, clicking the little bell icon over there, so you don't miss it when I upload new content. We're gonna need a light on here, huh? Okay, so what we're going to talk about first is the physical differences between these two cameras. And there are quite a few physical differences as well as similarities, and that is what makes this awesome. When Insta360 replaced this with this, a lot of us were bummed. The form factor and the way that this worked is what we liked so much about it. This is the camera that got me into 360 in the first place. I owe my addiction to 360 stuff to this camera. Now, I'm not going to get too much into the 1R right now. I talked a little bit about this in that other video, so just go get that information there. And if you are interested in hearing more about this, then check out the video I've done about the 1R there, or let me know in the comments below, and maybe I'll do a standalone telling you my thoughts on the 1R versus all these. Look at that. Well, I can see everything. Now, physically, the X2 is just slightly thicker than the X1, and believe it or not, is just slightly shorter than the X1. What you want to see is side-by-side footage, and there's a lot of cool stuff I found out by doing this side-by-side footage that I was not aware of. I'll tell you right now, if you don't want to wait to the very end, a lot of people are like, oh, you got to go through all this stuff to find the end. Well, is it better or is it not? Yes, it is. I was actually pretty shocked to see the footage and the end results of that footage and how different the video really looked. And I was actually able to capture it side by side because I used this guy. Keep in mind, this is thicker than the camera, so you're going to see this in the video, but you need to look past this and look at the sky and look at the pixelation and listen to the sound, because when you have it, you'll only have one camera on the stick and it will be invisible. Let's go ahead and jump over to Mountain Sean and we'll look at one of the side-by-sides and then come back here and talk about it, and then we'll do another one, so forth, until you've seen enough footage that your mind's ready to explode and you've decided, hey, I think I need one of these. Well, thank you, Sean, for that wonderful intro. I am here at Keystone Resort this lovely, cold morning. So we're gonna get off this lift and go ahead and grab some shots with both cameras, throw them up on the screen side by side, and tell me what you think in the comments below. See you in a second. Wow, I don't know if you see it, but I saw it right off the bat. When I watched those two videos side by side, just the colors pop. Now keep in mind, both of these are being filmed in just their standard 5.7K at 30 frames a second. We didn't get into any of the bells and whistles like bullet time or any of the app weird editing things you can do. This is just straight up to compare the video quality and sound quality between the two cameras with the same settings. It almost looked like the X2 had HDR on without having HDR on. Quality alone, just in the way that the video looks, I gotta give it to the new Insta360 ONE X2. It's a nice looking 360 camera. Now to test the audio, I think we need to jump back over to Mountain Sean and really listen to it back and forth and see which one cuts out the wind better, and just overall seeing which one sounds better in action. Let's pay attention to this little talking scene right here and see which one sounds better vocally in 360 mode right now. So how is this side-by-side footage looking? I'm telling you, it's actually really hard to film side by side and then edit these in post to make them side by side. App you use to edit these videos is completely different. The ONE X has an older app, where the ONE X2 uses the same app that the ONE R uses, which has a bunch of new features. For example, the tracking mode works so much better on the ONE X2 than the ONE X. Just one of the few things that makes a difference between the two. One thing I just noticed is that the vividness is definitely there for everything from the sky, the trees, the snow, everything, right? However, my skin tones seem a little bit weird on the X2 compared to the X1. If you're not doing them side by side, I don't think it would ever matter. However, it's there, you saw it, you tell me what you think in the comments below. The X2 is actually a USB-C device, and if you pop this little guy open right there, you can plug in a little adapter that will let you use an external microphone, which would make for better audio than pretty much any action camera is ever going to give you. I didn't mention this earlier, but the X2 is actually waterproof. Although I use the X1 in the snow a whole lot, it's not technically waterproof, so you can't submerge it in water like you could with the X2. I would still recommend a dive case or some kind of protective case if you're going to do underwater shooting with this, because when you're using these curved lenses underwater, your picture tends to be just a little fuzzy compared to just a regular flat type lens. So a case helps get that nice clear picture back that you lose underwater with these curved lenses. I also got to say that the durability factor on this one feels so much more durable than the X1, and that's a good thing if you're going to be using it for action type stuff. If you don't know how to reframe a 360 video, then really go watch one of these videos I have linked in my description, because I've got a few videos showing you how to do that from the ONE R, the ONE X, the X2, and the GoPro Max, all below. And each one is slightly different, but by watching them all, you'll get a good idea of what you're getting into before you make the plunge into 360 content. One thing I forgot to sort of tell you was that the ONE X2 has their version of GoPro Max's Hero Mode, which lets you just use one of the lenses, so you're filming more like a regular camera. A great feature. However, since this mounts directly in line with a tripod mount like this, that feature is pretty much 100% useless if you do action type stuff and you're trying to film yourself. Putting the camera out like this, so now you're only filming straight up or straight down. To be able to actually film yourself in that manner, you have to have an adapter like this, and then you turn the camera so that when the pole is out, you're able to film yourself, or you're able to film yourself or film somebody in front of you as you hold it and follow them like this. You will get the pole in your shot when filming in this mode. Just something to keep in mind. Between the ONE X and the ONE X2, I gotta say, the biggest change that they made on this camera that made it worth owning, and it's huge. It's better than the ONE R, it's better than the ONE X, and that is the new menu interface, having an actual LCD screen so that you can see what's happening, as well as the way the menu works on this. I was a little weirded out that it was round at first, and there is a little gimmicky thing about it where you can move the screen around. That doesn't matter because everything else on it works so flawlessly, especially compared to the original 1X that has this little LED screen. I can see it inside, but as soon as I go outside, I have no clue what mode this is in. I would hands down recommend the 1X2 over the 1X all day long. It is definitely an improvement in every way, shape, and form, in my opinion. I really thought before I went out and started doing this side-by-side test that I was gonna tell you that the 1X2 was really just an upgrade in the physical form and the way it was built, but I was wrong. Just overall, it's a better made product than the original Insta360 1X. And remember, there are links in the description below that help me and my relationship with Insta360 so that I can hopefully continue making this kind of content for you guys. So if you are considering getting one of those, look at those links, click on the ones that bring you over the Insta360 main store, and just order it direct from Insta360. Now that we're done with that, how many hashtags did you count? Not including myself as the example at the beginning of this video. There were 3 hashtags that you should enter in the comments below to get yourself the chance to win the Insta360 1X original camera. Remember, to win, you do need to go watch the video that I did that's linked in the description below and get the correct hashtags on that one as well. And I will go through each video and find someone who got the hashtags correct on each one, and we will announce that winner in a live show on a Monday evening coming early January. And if you are enjoying this 360 content, remember, there's still a GoPro Max versus the Insta360 1X2 video to come. Thanks again for watching, everyone, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, I think you got it.